Yo, 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 what is going on YouTube? You are looking at the Sharpshooters with me, wrestling fan Randy, and my guy David from Top Bunk Sports, where you get your latest wrestling talk weekly. We couldn't go live yesterday because we had, there was this little situation that we had to get into, but we good now. We good now, and we are going live for you guys on YouTube, and Twitter. So both of these, the episodes should be on both platforms. Man, we got to get it started to talk about Randy Orton turning heel on Cody Rhodes and how that segment started. I mean, you had Cody Rhodes come out with the obviously the press, the contract signing and all that, and Cody to said to Randy, like, I really appreciated, what you have done for me. I looked up to you. I will always look up to you. You are my guy. When and previously, like when I was younger and I was watching you and being mentored by you, I saw you win the Royal Rumble. I saw you go on to WrestleMania, and I wanted to be in that spot. Cody wanted to be in Randy Orton's spot, and he said, I want to get there one day. And well, now he is. Now he is in that spot. So credit to Cody Rhodes and what happened. But Randy was like, obviously, Cody was like, let the best man win. Let's see what happens. And Randy was like, like, you know what? I want that title. I want that title. I want that title. And then obviously he shaked Cody's hand, and then he freaking slammed his head, bro. He slammed his head on the contract signing table, and then he low blowed him. Now that move right there was like, oh, we're getting heel Randy Orton. That is what we want to see, man. We're getting heel Randy Orton. So he low blowed him, then he throws him out the ring, and man, from there, I mean, you talk about Randy Orton taking the staircase and hitting the freaking, hitting Cody Rhodes with that staircase. It was awesome to see Cody Rhodes gushing with blood, and I'm talking about really gushing with blood. And I was like, wow. Holy crap, man. And then he starts beating him up. You see Adam Pierce, Nick Aldis come. You see, all these guys come, Jason Jordan, all these guys. And then you see Jelly Roll come. And obviously, Jelly Roll is as friends with Randy Orton. They've, tag team with each other and all that. So they're showing that the friendship. And I was like, wow, okay. And then, but you see Randy, he pushes him. He pushes him. And then he goes back, and Cody is his head is on the stairs. Randy takes the chair. Boom! Boom, man. Holy shit. We're getting heel Randy Orton. This is something that I feel like we needed. Remember, we talked about it, Top. We talked about it. Somebody needs to turn heel. And Randy Orton is now a heel. We did it. We said, yo, there's no way that it could be this babyface against babyface. No, we got to go. What did you think about that segment, bro?
Classic. Classic, classic, classic. They took the ball and they ran home with it. Obviously, Randy Orton can cut it. Randy Orton has been one of the best heels in the company. Randy Orton knows what it takes to be a successful heel in this company. Shout out to Pope. We appreciate you. Thank you, Swift. Shout out
Thank
to
you,
Swift
Swift, for the logo. Appreciate it. Thank you, Swift, for the name. Appreciate it.
But like I said before, um, we kind of talked about it last episode where it was like somebody needed to turn heel and somebody needed to turn this storyline into the best that it could be. There's no other better way than to have the guy that has basically won most of his championships as a heel. Randy Orton has proven it, like I said, and again, I think you need that. You need a Randy Orton to basically destroy his creation from within. I put you on a pedestal years ago. I made you who you are. And now what, 10, 20 years later, I'm back to not only be champion, but I gotta go through the one guy that I created, that I molded into who this is. I'm not stopping at anything. And that's the Randy Orton that we're seeing. We're seeing a legend killer within his own. Cody Rhodes is becoming a legend. You have the legend killer trying to take down that upcoming legend. Um, and I think it was beautiful. I think everything from his mannerisms to his facial expression to him just looking at Cody like, "Are you serious?" to just the handshake and the attack and just every little thing to the bone that they did in that contract signing on Friday was perfect. And I gotta give WWE their credit, the writers, Triple H, for really putting that together. I mean, Cody Rhodes too. The way Cody Rhodes sold that.
Mm.
Um, Again, this is why he's one of the best in the business. But yeah, it was dope. Hopefully they continue to build on the success of that, because again, this match is something that fans have wanted. Obviously, like I said, they have their opinions on Cody right now, but again, this is a match that everybody kept saying, if Randy's back, we gotta have a Randy versus Cody match at WrestleMania, and they're having it. They're main eventing night one, so that's gonna be something that's going to be very, very intriguing. Randy Orton is, looking the best that he's ever looked. So it's gonna be very interesting to see. But I just love how they're taking this now. And then obviously the promo that Randy Orton cut on Monday Night Raw, where he
Mm.
spoke about the the wrestling has more than one royal family. Basically, what Cody Rhodes has to start his entrance
Yes.
music. Um, and he was on the phone when he did that, and I think that's the question that everybody's wondering, like, who was he talking to? Like, who was he having that conversation? Remember that he mentioned in that segment when in that interview with Michael Cole, he spoke about the fact that that person that he was talking to on the phone made him understand why he had to do what he did to Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
So it's going to be very intriguing to see who that person is. Selfishly, I would have loved for it to be Ted DiBiase Jr., but obviously with everything going on with Ted DiBiase, it's looking like it might not happen, but you never know. WWE likes to
So
pull chicks out their bag, so
I love what you said there because okay, I was in that moment when he got the phone call, he was talking, and Michael Cole was like, you know what? I promised you, Randy was like, I promised you a segment, but I don't really got time for that. But I will give you this. There's a person that he reminded me, I'm a killer. I'm a killer. When he said that, that is what you want to hear from Randy freaking Orton. Like, okay, babyface Randy Orton is awesome,
right.
but heel Randy Orton is on another level. Like I love seeing the goofiness of Randy, like him, like you see him, Randy Orton come, and Trick Williams comes out, let's say, and Trick is like doing his thing and all that, and Randy's like laughing and goofing around and then RKO him. That's babyface Randy Orton. But heel Randy Orton, we're talking about a different Randy Orton. We're talking about us, man, a Randy Orton that we're talking about 2009. Remember 2009 Randy Orton?
Yeah.
He was sadistic. He was crazy. He wouldn't care what would happen to others, man. He would beat the crap out of people. And I think that's the Randy Orton that we're gonna see. Who reminded him? I was gonna say, I was thinking in my head, who the hell called Randy Orton? Who called Randy Orton that could remind him that he's a killer? Now, I was thinking, obviously, Edge is in AEW.
Right.
We can't say Edge. We can't say Edge because he's in AEW. Can we say Ted DiBiase Jr.? He's going through stuff, so maybe not. I don't think that's the case.
Right.
And I don't honestly know who the hell it would be. Can it be who? Who has had real problems with Cody? It's not The Rock. I'm not gonna say it's The Rock because there's no way that it's The Rock.
Right.
But I honestly don't know. I'm trying to think about it, and I've been kind of trying to think about it, like who called Randy Orton? I honestly don't know. I'm trying to think about it, but I really don't know who called them.
Right.
And whoever called them has history with Randy Orton, and that person reminded Randy Orton that he's a killer. Now, could it be a Ric Flair? That maybe, I mean, we're talking about saw Randy Orton as a young kid, was the lead, the leader of Evolution. Could it
Maybe.
be?
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know. But I thought that was very, very interesting to see. And obviously that was on SmackDown, and that segment was on Raw. So obviously the contract signing was on SmackDown, and this little promo segment was on Raw. So I think we're going to see an exciting feud, and it's starting out hot already. And no cap to you, no cap top. And I'm not gonna lie to you right now.
Right.
Right now, who do you think should be the main event of WrestleMania Night 2?
Oh, of course, it should be Roman and Punk.
Okay.
It should definitely be Roman and Punk. I think
Okay. Okay.
that's your
Okay.
main moneymaker right there.
Okay. And I get it. I understand, but I will tell you this. I am very impressed with what I see from Randy and Cody already. And I think their build is going to be better than Roman and Punk. But listen, that's what I think. I think Randy and Cody should be the main event too?
Right.
It really depends on the build. And obviously you got Roman Reigns, who's your A+ player, and he needs to be on the last match. I understand that. But
Right.
Cody Rhodes, I mean, wow. Randy, I'm honestly like I don't know. I keep thinking about it. They could go either way, and I'll be fine with it. They
Right.
could go either way, and I'll be fine with it. But we'll see. But obviously, they're gonna go night 1 Cody and Randy, and night 2 Roman and Punk, which I understand completely.
Right.
It's awesome. And then we also had a segment, because this is how we do things on this show, guys. We recap SmackDown, a little bit of what we think was interesting. Because look, it's a 3-hour show. We're not going to sit here and recap the whole show for you guys. So look, we're going to talk about what we thought was interesting. And if we get, suggestions from our subscribers that, listen, maybe you want us to talk about this or this, then we'll talk about that as well. So, well, let's get into what I want to get into next, and that is obviously Drew McIntyre, the start of the segment with Nick Aldis and him coming out and saying that this is not fair and this is bull crap. And Nick Aldis comes out as like, what's the problem? I don't understand your problem. You lost fair and square, and you also headbutted a referee. And then you had Jacob Fatu come out and he said, what's wrong? Like, you lost fair and square, and I made sure you lost. And then you had Drew McIntyre say, I quit. So he quit and he left. And then you had a little backstage segment with Trick and Fatu, and they were talking their little trash, saying these things. And there was a match made, and Trick was facing Fatu. Shout out to Trick and what he's been doing on SmackDown. He's been having an awesome, start to his career. And Trick, he ends up beating Jacob Fatu with Drew McIntyre getting involved. I mean, I thought that it was that's a big win, first of all, for Trick Williams over Jacob Fatu. Whether you want to say it's not that clean or not, that's a big win there. So it's Drew McIntyre, Fatu. I think that's what we're gonna get here. Do you think? How do you feel about Drew McIntyre, Fatu? Like, do you care about it as much as Like, do you care much about it?
I don't know, man. It's not really growing on me as I thought it would, because I like Fatu, and obviously Drew is a really good heel. I don't know. I just feel like with Drew is kind of taking a backstage. It's more of a back. He's taking a back pedal a little bit, because he's not in the championship picture right now. Um, I think it'd be a good match. Two big dudes going at it, two quick guys in the ring, but I think if I'm Drew, if I'm WWE, I gotta have Drew put Fatu over. Um, and I don't know. I just again, it really hasn't grown on me. I would think that maybe the build is kind of slow, but the match will be pretty good. And I'm hoping that that's if they're gonna have them fight at WrestleMania, that the match is gonna be better than the build. But I think they're kind of going a questionable route with Drew ever since they decided to take the title off of him and give it to Cody. So yeah,
Yeah, it's I feel like nothing you do with Drew is gonna make it feel good that he lost the title. Like
yeah,
he lost the title. He was in the big spot,
right.
and look, as much as I like Jacob Fatu and Drew, didn't they already have a match before?
They did. It's just one of those things where it's like you said, the way Drew won the title from Cody, you thought to yourself, okay, Drew's gonna have it for a good
Yeah,
portion.
yeah,
So for him to kind of drop it again, that's where it's like you look at Drew, you're like, and like he was better off in the title picture. Certain people think that Drew's good without the title, but I think because he's such a good heel and he could cut promos and he could wrestle, I think it was time. And I've said this multiple times. I think they should have ran with Drew as a champion for a good portion. Obviously, I understood what they were doing when not doing that with him, but it is what it is. Nothing you could do.
yeah. It's a tough one
It's a
because
point
it's a tough one, but they decided to go this route.
for sure.
I just hope it doesn't hurt Drew
Yeah, yeah,
going forward. But we'll see with that. But that
yeah.
was SmackDown. That was the stuff that we found interesting a little bit. Next week we'll definitely get into Rhea and Jade for sure. But we got to talk about Oba, Oba,
Oh,
Oba,
but, oh,
Oba,
but,
Oba.
oh,
Oh
but,
my God!
oh, but.
First of all, you had Seth Rollins, you had Paul Heyman in the segment. Seth Rollins is pissed off. Paul Heyman is beat up, looks beat up. And I mean, I want to ask you first, and I kind of want you to describe the segment from your standpoint. What did you feel about that segment? And I want you to describe that segment for me, like if I was watching it for the first time.
I mean, it started off good. I mean, the whole thing was good. Let me reiterate that. You had a Paul Heyman that looked like he was beat up and battered, and he was in his feels about the attack from Seth with the steel chair. Seth kind of basically telling Heyman like, I'm gonna get you, and I'm coming after you in a way. And obviously he got his goons behind him, which I think is starting to get stupid with that. I think they need to start getting away from that. But you know, if what it is, what it is. Um, I just didn't see how the Brock thing, how like all of a sudden Brock comes out and then Oba comes out. I think that should
Hmm.
have been its own separate thing.
Yeah.
However, the way they entered Oba and Seth kind of came out the picture, Oba going in there, attacking Brock, lifting him up, and slamming him down to the mat, like that was awesome. It just showed it made Oba look good than what he already was. Um, of course, it leads up to the build up of like what Brock is gonna do. Obviously, Brock is gonna be there on Raw
Hmm.
next week. So it's very interesting to see what he's gonna do next week after that. Because you gotta think in terms of Brock's character, that's an embarrassing look for him, right? To kind of get body slam like that, and then Oba kind of putting his foot on his chest, which shout out to Brock for kind of mouthing that for Oba to do. Just shows how much he cares about putting his guy over, and making him look good. But you got to think to yourself, all right, this is still Brock Lesnar, this is still the Beast incarnate. Like you still gotta make he still gotta go out to get his revenge. So it's that I like the way they started with that, you know. And
Mm.
it look that whole segment to start off the show was really good, but they made Oba look and they continue to make Oba look as good as he is. this is what you do with a young star that you have. You continue to put him in positions to make him look good. And I think in that segment right there, not only was that a good way to make him look good and strong, but now it's like, all right, you did that. You announced the match was official at WrestleMania on, on the same day. Now let's start up with the now let's get this build up going and let's continue this.
Yeah, I thought it was an awesome segment. I mean, and I see what you're saying, like your point that maybe it should have been its own thing rather than Seth and Heyman being involved.
Right.
But Brock, is with Heyman. So I guess that's kind of the connection there. That's one that they wanted to do there. But I agree. I think it kind of should have been its own segment. Definitely, like once I mean Brock Lesnar came out and said, "Oh, I'm doing a challenge," Oba should have came out,
Right.
but it seemed like they wanted to wait a little bit and give it its time, that segment. And look, at the end of the day, it had Oba shining at the end.
Right.
So
Right.
Oba did his thing. Oba came out. Seth, like, it seems like he hasn't been physical. He hasn't done anything physical really. Or they've been physical with him, which is cool. They're doing the whole Seth Rollins is not doing anything physical. He's chilling. He's trying to, hide behind the masked man. Thank God we didn't see the little circus show that but I think Oba coming out. And first of all, like Brock Lesnar trying to come right at him, and you see Oba pick up Lesnar like nothing and just power bomb him. And then you also see the holy shit by Michael Cole. I thought that was awesome. I
Right.
thought that was really awesome. And then what I found funny was, I mean, you had Brock like down like this, and and he's pointing to the WrestleMania sign, or he's about to point to the WrestleMania sign, but Brock is telling him, "Yo, put your foot on my chest, bro. Like, look a little more, dominant."
Yeah. Yeah.
Oba puts his foot on his chest, points to the WrestleMania sign. Look, we talked about this, right? We talked about this, before. We talked about who's in a better spot, who's going to be in a better spot, Oba or Trick. Right now, I'm not gonna lie to you. Oba Femi is in a better spot than Trick Williams.
Right.
And I mean, and he's in a high caliber WrestleMania match. And credit to Oba, credit to WWE, because I was like thinking, yo, what are they doing with Oba? Like, I need him to do something big. I think he is a big time player, and I kind of want to see something big. Yeah, I kind of wanted to see him face John Cena and beat John Cena, but that didn't happen. The Gunther thing happened, which made perfect sense
Right.
because of the career killer thing that obviously Gunther is doing. We will talk about that a little bit later, but I thought that was awesome. But Oba, what he has done, he's been awesome. They made him be in these jobber matches, whatever. Rusev was the one that really had like a real match with him, but Oba ended up winning. Oba has been a beast. He's looked like a beast. And I think this thing, Oba and Brock, I love this better than Omos and versus Brock. I'll tell you that. This to me is a real match, and that I could be like, oh, like you not just putting this guy with this guy. No, like Omos to me and Lesnar, thought that shit was forced. I
Right.
didn't like that.
Right.
Oba and Brock, I could see it. I could see it. Now, why does Oba feel that he can accept this challenge? Why did he accept this challenge? I think that's going to be the interesting part about this. What is Oba's problem with Brock? That's going to be the interesting. And I think we will see some promos, hopefully, from there, and we'll get to see Oba cook a little bit because Oba's pretty good on the mic. So
Right.
definitely Lesnar, I think he's gonna job. I think he's gonna have a good match, but he's gonna lose at the end. And I love that he is doing this for Oba, because I think this is gonna help Oba so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this puts Oba on a high pedestal right now. I mean, why not go after the biggest fish in the company? So it's definitely a good look. I'm excited to see Oba get that opportunity. Again, it only gives you suspense in terms of when that opportunity comes that he gets to go after the title. So
Yes. and we go from this hot segment to another hot segment. We talk about the main event, the promo with Punk and Roman. Obviously, and you know what? Before that, let's get into this. The bloodline coming back because I think it makes perfect sense. The bloodline coming back. Like I saw the little on the couch, Jimmy, Jay, Roman there, and I thought that was funny. Like I was like, wow, this is a callback to the bloodline. This is a callback to the SmackDown days. This is a callback to when Jimmy was like, you know what, what's the play tonight? Telling Roman what the play is tonight. Like he's the quarterback, bro. Like I thought that was funny. I mean, what did you think about this? Like, obviously, you had the CM Punk, say the stuff about Roman's dad and all that, and the bloodline. Yeah, Jimmy and Jay, they're together, and they're coming out. They said all that stuff, but we see them interact. We see them interacting with Roman. And it's looking like, oh, they're getting a little goody goody again. Like they have it, like so it's like kind of bloodline a little bit. But then you also see LA Knight saying, "What's going on here? If you guys are bringing back the bloodline, we're gonna have a problem. As much as I support you guys, I don't support the bloodline and Jimmy, Jay, and Roman taking over."
Right.
What do you think about that?
I mean, listen, man, it's dude. I mean, it's all about the family angle, right? And it's all about the words and the comments that CM Punk has made about the family. Um, and Roman is a guy that is all about his family. Again, tribal chief needs his backup, needs his blood at all times. And I think this is one of those situations where this is where Punk has is going down the history of like these this is the guy that I'm facing, and I understand that he doesn't run alone. He has a pack, and this is who I have. These are the guys that not only do I respect, but again, at the end of the day, I'm facing their cousin. I'm facing their guy, their leader. So I have to put them in check, because if not, then I'm dealing with more than one problem. But again, this is something to where I believe now it's in a situation where now it brings a nostalgia back, and it brings a good feeling back, because we've always loved and respected the bloodline and what they've been able to do. So I think it's a good look, and you can see how comfortable Jay and Jimmy look now that they're back in with on Roman's corner with this. It's pretty interesting to see. I kind of like it because the segments are good.
No, yeah, the segments are good. And look, anytime Roman is on screen,
Right.
I mean, it's pretty good. So, but uh, I want to talk about this, and that's what's it called? That's Punk and Roman Mind Games.
Right.
For me, right? I kind of thought Roman was gonna be mad, like he was gonna come out like, "Oh, you talked about my father, you said this," and he was gonna get physical right away with CM Punk. What I think that they're doing is slowly building the anticipation of these two guys getting physical. So they're kind of slowly getting to it.
Right.
It's a slow build, but it is a pretty good build so far. And you see Punk saying to Roman, "I'm in your head. I'm in your head." And then he says the part-timer thing again, right? And then Roman is like, okay, you're mad at me because you call me a part-timer. Look, man, I'm the top player. That's what top players do. Okay. And
Right.
that's what it is. And then he also said you could, ask your wife about it. Ask your wife about it. When he said ask your wife about it, I was like, wow, that's hilarious, because somebody was saying that like on social media, like, but AJ Lee got the same appearances as Roman Reigns.
Right.
Like, what the hell? Like, so CM Punk would have talked all this trash, but his wife got the same appearances, man. Like, it's just hilarious. And his wife did show up on the show, but like, it's funny. It's funny how the whole thing happened. But and then Roman is like, I'm out of here. Like, I kind of want to hear this, because CM Punk was like saying like you're saying the same old crap again. So Roman leaves the ring, and then CM Punk leaves the ring, and he's like, before Roman exactly gets out the ring, he's like, this is my show. You know what I'm saying? This is my show, and I'll tell you when to leave.
Right.
So go get in the ring, young boy, which he said that, young boy. Roman goes like, and he gets back in the ring. What did you think about that? Because I know a lot of people had a problem with Roman and how he just got back in the ring like nothing. Like, he just got back in the ring and he listened to CM Punk. What did you think about that? Because I thought that was a little weird, but I know a lot of people thought that was weird. So I wanted to ask you what you thought about that.
I didn't think much of it.
Mm.
I didn't think much of it. I thought, again, this is them playing on trying to perfect and trying to be a little more edgier than regular. Their promos are getting a little bit more. They're getting up there now. Like, they're starting to say certain things that it's like, oh, okay, like they're starting to get a little edgier. Like I said, so I didn't have an issue with it.
Mm.
These are two guys that could talk very good trash on the mic, and this is what they got to do to build up the match. Again, you're not going to see a lot of. You'll probably see, maybe a little bit of physicality, more physicality as we keep going up more, to more Raws before Mania. But at the same time, it's like, this is when again, when a big match like that, you want your segments to be top tier, because you know that their segments are going to draw. It's the same thing, and I hate to compare it, but it's the same thing with Rock and Cena when they were building
Mm.
up their match at WrestleMania 28. It was just segments after segments after segments, and each one of them were just trash talking them, because
Yes.
the trash talking was gold.
Yeah.
It built up what they were telling each other. Everybody knew behind the scenes they didn't like each other. So everybody knew that what they're saying probably had a little bit of realism to it. They were probably a little bit personal shots that they were throwing to each other, you know. So
Yeah.
it's sort of like this in a way, even though Roman and CM Punk, I don't think they hate each other, but obviously they're building up for their match. But you want to add a little bit edgier stuff, that way people could be like, all right, this match it might be something with the way that they're talking. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing. That's the only thing that you can't really tell the difference. Like, they might say some things where it has the audience being like, "Yo, do they really hate each other? Like, is there something? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there something there? Like with Punk and Seth, they don't like each other. In real life they don't like each other. So everything that they said was, it was coming straight from the heart, because in real life they don't like each other. So with Roman and Punk, it's kind of like, they're starting to get to that notion where it's like, all right, their segments are starting to get a little edgy, to where it's like, yo, do they have real life beef? Like, is this getting into like are we getting somewhere with this? Like, in terms of like, do they have real life heat, and they're gonna fight each other at Mania? Like, okay, now, like, you're intrigued now, you're in the edge of your seat. So I didn't have an issue with it at all. I think it's good for their build up.
Yeah, man. Yo, watch the spring breakout, but um, but
I
AJ Ewing's bad, bro.
Right.
But I thought it was a awesome. I thought it was a pretty good segment. I'm not gonna say it was amazing. I thought it was cool. Um, I think when he said what Roman said, you're awesome on the mic, like you're awesome, getting the fans to love you, but you're not awesome in the ring anymore. You're old. And Phil, CM Punk hit Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns goes down. and CM Punk is like, he doesn't try to hit him anymore. And then you see the Adam Pearce, all these guys trying to protect the main event of WrestleMania, right? So, and then Roman is like, he's hit and he could feel it, but he's laughing a little bit. He's like, who's in the head now? Who's the mind games player now? You know what I'm saying? So who's in the head, really? Is CM Punk in the head of Roman, or is Roman in the head of CM Punk? From this week, I'm going to say Roman is in the head of CM Punk.
Right.
So I'm gonna say Leon Pena. Yo, bro. But I thought it was an awesome, fun segment. But we're gonna see them cook, guys. I think we gotta be patient. We gotta be a little patient,
right?
Because this is a slow build. So they're building to the anticipation. They're building to them being physical. So I kind of like that, and we will see them get physical. Now, Randy Orton and Cody, they went physical right away. But for Roman and Punk, they're going a little slower, man. They're going a little slower, which is cool. So that's fine. And then we got to talk about this segment here. Becky attacking AJ Lee. AJ Lee, right? She had a match with Bayley. It was a good match. Awesome, pretty good match. And then AJ Lee ends up winning. They shake hands with AJ shakes hands with Bayley. Like, they're friends. They hug and all that stuff. And then what they do is we go to like commercial break. We went to like commercial break, right?
We did.
And then we come back. I think we see another segment. And then we come back and we see Becky beating the crap out of AJ Lee. We're like, what the fuck? What's happening here? What's happening? And in my head, I'm like, yo, wait a minute. When is Becky gonna come out? I was thinking, like, after she beat Bayley, when is Becky gonna come out? Because I feel like, yo, Becky, there's no way Becky and AJ Lee are done. There's no way they're done, right? So they come out. So you see Becky beating the crap out of AJ, and it's like, yo, like, why didn't you do this like right after? You waited till like a commercial break and then you did it. I thought that was a little weird. I mean, what did you think about that? And are you excited about Becky and AJ again?
I mean, I think if you're I'm okay with the Becky and AJ thing. You're building a feud. And again, I think most of them, obviously fans are kind of okay with it in a way. I'm not really that interested in it. I think, the feud, it's AJ needs something fresh.
And what could that be though? What is that fresh? Like, what? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it. I get it. Like, they want to do Becky again, but you made her tap out 3 times in a row. It's kind of like AJ has made Becky look weak.
That's what I'm saying. Now, the only way you can justify that is if you have Becky win the title at Mania again.
Yes.
But again, are they going to do that? Are they going to flip that script? And that's what I don't know if they're gonna do that, because I feel like they're not going to do that, and then it's gonna diminish Becky's character.
I feel like they are gonna do that because AJ's a part timer, so they're probably gonna want the title offer.
I mean, that would make sense. That would make sense. It would just it's a question of if AJ's ready for the commitment to go ahead and really, give more consistent time with the title if they're going to keep the title on her.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe she doesn't come back after Mania for a couple shows and then she does come back, like the
it could go either way. Becky, like I said, Becky has looked like awesome, but she's looked weak because she tapped out 3 times in a row. So like, that's not good. Maybe they shouldn't have done that. Like, why did Becky have to tap out 3 times in a row? I think that was a mistake on Triple H's part. If you want to make Becky look strong, why do you have Becky tap out 3 times in a row? And I mean, we're talking about Survivor Series, War Games. We're talking about the WrestlePalooza, I think it was. So like, it's just like it's. I don't think it was a good notion there. I don't think that was a good decision.
Right, right.
Because it like right now, to be honest with you, I'm not hype about Becky versus AJ because we
Yeah,
saw it already
same.
we saw it already, and AJ beat Becky. So, like, I don't think that was the right way to go about it.
There's no suspense to it because of the way AJ's beaten Becky. So it's like you're coming into this WrestleMania already saying, "Well, I mean, I'm expecting Becky to get her lick back at Mania." Like, duh. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, okay. You know
Now,
what I'm
maybe
saying?
if it was different, maybe it would have been different if you would have had Becky beat AJ Lee a couple of times, then AJ Lee win the big one at WrestleMania.
But you know what though? I think it still would have been the same shit.
You think so?
Because then you're sitting there like, I mean, Becky's had her number. They're gonna fight at WrestleMania. They're gonna give AJ that moment.
Yeah.
She's gonna win the title. Like, duh. Again, it's obvious. You know what I'm saying? Like, they should have gone back and forth.
Mm.
It should have gone back and forth.
Yeah, I think.
But what it did was not involve the title until WrestleMania.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Have them feud, have them fight where the title doesn't need to be involved. And then when they get to WrestleMania, yo, all right, we're gonna finish this. The title has to be involved now.
Yo, you know what? This sucks because I love AJ Lee, and I've been waiting for her to come back for so long. So
Right,
it kind of sucks that like this match, I'm not intrigued by this match as
right,
because you have failed with the booking.
right,
Triple H has failed with the booking. You cannot. How are you going to book someone like that and expect me to have interest in a feud when I seen Becky tap out 3 times in a row? It's not 2 times in a row. It's 3 times in a row. So I think that's a mistake on their part. I think that's definitely a mistake on their part.
right.
But it was cool. I figured this was gonna happen, and we'll see where the feud goes. I'm just not hype about it, and I feel like we both feel the same way. So
Yeah, the same.
it is what it is. But we're gonna get into our next thing, and that is Liv's plan to screw Finn. She said on Raw it was the plan all along to screw Finn, and she never wanted. She never liked Finn. She never wanted him, part of the group. And once she came to the group, she had a plan. Like, you know what? Like, let's get Finn out of here. Like, I don't like Finn, but you know what? I'll tolerate Finn for Dom's sake.
Right,
And I was like, okay, all right. Now, Liv Morgan and
right,
and the Finn thing, the Dom thing. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see where that goes. I think Finn, we will see. I think a more interesting Finn Balor than what we have seen with the Judgment Day.
right,
So I kind of can't wait to see that Finn and what he does because I love. I think Finn is awesome. I think Finn is one of the best wrestlers in the game, and when he's on, man, he's really on. So I would love to see Finn like really be the Finn Balor that that not this Judgment Day Finn Balor, and I think we are going to get that. And finally, after 2 years, he's done with the group. He's done with the group. So and Finn has done great work. Done been tag team champion and all that. Done work with Dom and all that, but it's just we'll see what this feud. I think this feud has potential with Finn and Dom. We just got to see it. Dom is awesome, man. Dom is an awesome heel. He's gonna get you to hate him every single time. But we'll see. We'll see there. The last thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is a question to you because I kind of been feeling this way for a little bit. All right, you had Gunther beat John Cena. You had Gunther beat Goldberg. Okay, retire him. Cool. All right. Then you have Gunther beat John Cena. Retire him. Cool. All right. So you got this whole career killer thing. Then you have Gunther beat, obviously, AJ Styles, retire him. Boom. Now is like, where the hell does Gunther go from here? I don't know where Gunther goes from here. Now, you see, Dragon Lee attacked him last time, right? And they were getting into a little thing. And Gunther beats Dragon Lee. Apparently, I think I saw in the dirt sheets that Rey Mysterio was supposed to be the matchup for Gunther at WrestleMania. Um, and yeah, that was supposed to be the matchup at WrestleMania, and that was going to be the direction. But Rey Mysterio's injured, so Gunther really has no direction. And to me, this pisses me off because I love Gunther. I think he's an awesome wrestler.
Right.
And I think you have showcased him in a big spot and multiple big spots. But now it's like, where does Gunther go from here? I understand that everybody can't be in a top spot all the time, but I think this is not good for Gunther. Like, I would love to see him face Brock. That's what I would love to see. But I think that they're holding that to probably SummerSlam to retire him there. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm not happy with the direction for Gunther. So as much as I like Gunther, man, they gotta work on his direction and figure out what the hell is Gunther gonna do. Because Gunther's an awesome character. And like, if he doesn't have a direction, you don't have a direction for one of your top stars. Like, Gunther's one of the top stars.
Right.
So, like, I mean, what did you think about this? Did you find this weird in any way, or like, do you really not care about Gunther in the direction, or do you feel like, oh, it's just, yeah, like, what do you feel about it?
No, I care about Gunther's direction. He's one of the best heels in the business right now. They've put him over a bunch of times. Like, not, I don't want to say a bunch of times. Like, they've put him over in big situations. I mean, retiring Cena, retiring AJ at the Royal Rumble, having him as champion for as long as they did, having him, be the last contestant in the Royal Rumble, where Roman eliminated him to win the Rumble. Like, they've put him in big situations. I don't necessarily think him and Rey Mysterio would have been a draw compared to Cena and AJ. That's just my opinion. So them kind of going that route kind of would have pissed me off. And I get why they were doing it in a way if Rey Mysterio was going to retire at WrestleMania. However, I don't necessarily think that a Gunther and Rey Mysterio matchup would have been a draw. And that's just how I'm looking at it. So thank God. Obviously, you never want to see somebody get hurt or get injured. So, prayers to Rey Mysterio. Hopefully the injury is not that bad if that's 100% true. But I think it's getting to a situation where they're kind of fumbling his booking a little bit in terms of Gunther, because it's kind of like, all right, so who does he fight now?
Exactly.
Where does he go? Who's the guy that is picture perfect to fight him at WrestleMania? How did he go from showing up on Monday Night Raw almost every episode to now we don't see him the last couple of episodes? That's weird.
Exactly, right? Exactly. And that's
weird.
what I'm saying.
Right.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, that's why I have a problem with this, because you noticed that, right? You notice he was showing up on Raw and now he's not showing up on Raw. Why is he not showing up on Raw? Because you don't have a fucking direction for him. You don't have a direction for him. And you don't have a direction for one of your top stars. This is bull crap. I'm sorry. I don't care. And I don't think Rey Mysterio at all and Gunther would have been a draw, just like you. Right. I don't think so. Right. I don't think Rey Mysterio and Gunther would have been anything special. I really don't. And I love Rey Mysterio and I love Gunther. But, bro, I don't care about Gunther versus Rey Mysterio. I don't care about it. So it was like what? That was going to be the match because what? Dragon Lee was going to get beat up by Gunther and then Rey Mysterio was going to come out to save him? Like what? And also, you kind of cornered Gunther into this career killer crap. Like, it's awesome, right? But you kind of cornered him because now what? He can't have a regular match without ending somebody's career.
Right, exactly.
It's like I don't think that like
Like
okay
they're
like
sticking to the notion that, oh, he's a career killer, so we have to put him against guys that are towards the end of their career. When it's like, no, you don't. Like he doesn't have to keep fighting guys that are basically almost done with their career. I just don't. My thing is, I don't understand how he goes from, like I said, your top heel, and then now we don't see him.
right right
Right,
he
like
goes from your top
we're
heel.
literally. I yeah, I just don't get that. And knowing WWE, they're gonna throw him in the fire and put something for him, and it's gonna be like, oh, there he is, but it's gonna be like, okay, like there's no interest in that. Um, I know it's just weird. I hope that there's something okay with him because maybe there could be an injury that they're trying to hide. Um, because of the fact that he right now is on a hot momentum as a heel. But I hope that's not the case. I hope maybe it's a booking thing. But even if it's a booking thing, that's even still a bad look because
Yeah.
you mean to tell me you guys don't have him as a top priority when he should be? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
he
like
should be a top
you
priority.
put him in this big spot, you put him in this high spot, and now you made him your top heel. And
Right.
what? Now he's not your top heel, or he's not gonna be showcased on Raw.
Exactly.
Like he better show up on Raw next week. He better. Like if he doesn't, then what the fuck? What is the point? Like what is that
Exactly.
to me? Um, I'm not intrigued by anything Rey Mysterio. I'm not intrigued by the match. I don't. I wouldn't care like anything about Gunther versus
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio. I just wouldn't. So,
Facts.
um, Rey Mysterio needs to retire and stay retired. Like Rey Mysterio, like stay your
Exactly.
ass.
Exactly.
Stay your ass. Your son is wrestling and he's doing an awesome job. But
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio does not need how many injuries is Rey Mysterio gonna have? Remember, there was like was it 2 WrestleManias ago or something that he was gonna have a match with someone and he got injured. He got injured. But
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio, like, call it
Right.
quits, bro. Call it quits.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
you're the Hall of Famer you're a Hall of Famer and you're still wrestling.
Yeah.
Call it quits.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I just thought that was interesting. That last topic to talk about. But guys, if you enjoyed the video, definitely do us a favor and subscribe to the channel. Leave a like on our video. And yeah, man. You guys are awesome, man. We love doing this, and man, we got more to come, man. More to come for the Sharpshooters channel, Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. We are out of here, man. Have a good one, y'all.